Midnight Suns is one of my favorite video games that came out this year, but as comic book companies do, there is a tie-in comic that has recently come out. Why? Because the Midnight Suns barely exist in the comic books. That's right, they did come together a little while ago, but it was very brief, and I'm not even sure they officially called themselves the Midnight Suns, so it's time to have a resurgence of the Midnight Suns within Marvel Comics. This is issues 1 and 2 of the tie-in comic book Midnight Suns. And today's episode is actually brought to you by Midnight Suns. Today's video is sponsored by Marvel's Midnight Suns and 2K Games. Lilith, the mother of demons, has arrived and plans on taking control of everything, and only the Midnight Suns can stop her, with the help of the trusty hunter, you. This tactical strategy RPG boasts a very unique and strategic battle system involving controlling your character's moves and abilities with an in-game card system. Customize your hunter to create a perfect superhero to adventure through this world with, and fight alongside characters like Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Blade, Magic, the Scarlet Witch, Wolverine, and Captain America, to name a few. Utilize your base, the Abbey, to upgrade your gear at the Forge, and plan your attacks at the War Station, chatting with your allies in common rooms or spar and train with them in the yard. Follow your destiny and maximize your abilities and strategies to demolish Lilith and her demons and free our world from her clutches. The Midnight Suns are waiting for you, Hunter. Available now. And there you go. Now we're going to jump into the comic book. This is issues 1 and 2. If you guys enjoy this, let me know in the comments down below, and we'll be sure to cover the rest of the issues as they come out. But you could also go to your local comic book store and pick them up. We only bring you an audio drama to get you caught up in your favorite storylines. There's still plenty for you to go out there and read. Let's get into it. April 3rd, Centerville. Mary Beth Zorich screams for Mr. Toker, stopping as the man continues to throw her books into the fire before him. But he turns on her, shifting his jacket so that she can see the pistol in his belt. You have much bigger things to worry about. Long as anyone remembers, there have been rumors about your family. Can't have you doing unholy magic in our town any longer. Mary Beth tells him that she'll leave and they'll never hear from her again, but Toker shakes his head, drawing the weapon. I think we're past the beginning stage, Mary Beth. You best use your last words to pray for salvation, he says as he steps forward, putting the gun against her forehead. She bows her head, whispering the words of a spell. The smoke of fire curls into the air and behind Toker, forming a massive hand that reaches for him. Meanwhile, over at the Strange Academy, Zoe and Desi are rushing through the halls, not wanting to miss the lesson from their guest speaker, Blade. Blade stands before the class, flanked by Nico and Magic. Thank you. I hope most of you students retain something after this lesson. Your lives, he says with a smile, motioning for the lights to go down, and a portal opens up behind him as the students look in surprise, red eyes beginning to glow as the vampires step through. Now class, you might want to pick up the stakes on your desks right about now, he says as he draws his own weapon. Afterwards, Zoe and Desi walk the halls again, noting everything that happened with the hands-on lesson. But Zoe suddenly begins to feel dizzy and begins to sway, Desi shouting for her as she falls. Images begin to appear, shadow creatures taking over the world, various heroes fighting against them, and Zoe has no choice but to watch as a monstrous figure speaks over her shoulder. Now, child, it is time to embrace your destiny, to wipe all life away and begin anew. The creature growls. Zoe suddenly sits up in shock once again in the Strange Academy, but everyone is staring at her. They all saw the same thing. Wait, you all saw that dream? Who else could see it too? The teachers will stand in the kitchen, shocked by what they saw, with Dr. Voodoo looking around them. He points out that he believes that every student in the school saw the same thing. Are you sure about that? Are you sure it was just the school? Blade asks him. Over on the California coast, the spirit rider is meditating, but she shakes her head as the vision fills her mind. An apocalypse is coming. She gasps as she stands. Over in Madripoor, Wolverine is fighting against AIM soldiers, but Magic suddenly portals next to him. What now, Ileana? I'm a bit busy, Wolverine tells her as he slices through an AIM weapon. She quickly tells him about the vision which had him fighting alongside them. Oh, terrific. Magic crap. He curses out, telling the AIM soldiers that it's their lucky day, and he disappears through the portal. At the sanctum, Clea looks at Wong, confirming that she saw it too. I'll get my cloak, she says, with Agatha Harkness nearly collapsing after the vision. It can't be. Not again, she whispers. Doom stares off in the distance. This is not acceptable, he growls. At the school, the students are scared, surrounding Zoe as they let their fear overcome them, and she begins to run through the halls with the teachers trying to calm her. But as she rounds a corner, the smoke creatures from her vision begin to push through the halls. "Give us the girl!" one of them hisses, with Zoe running as the magical teachers move to combat the new threat. Wolverine and Magic then appear, slicing through them. "It's like slicing through air!" Wolverine shouts. "Maybe you should get a solo sword!" Magic shouts as she cuts through another monster. Zoe screams as another of the monsters leaps at her, but the Spirit Rider roars forward on her motorcycle, cutting through the monster with her fiery hatchet. "You stay away from the girl! She is under the protection of the Spirit Rider!" she hisses from her flaming skull. The rest of the heroes continue to fight, but Agatha suddenly appears, drawing Zoe into her cloak, teleporting the two away. Seeing that the girl has now disappeared, the smoke monsters suddenly dissipate, leaving behind the people that they had overtaken. "The creatures left some clues behind," Blade notes as he sheathes his sword. Going through one of the men's wallets, he discovers that his name was Samuel Toker from Centerville. The rest of the heroes gather, with the Spirit Rider telling them that they will need to find Zoe before more of the monsters appear. It's Nico who tells the others that they have a time limit, using her magic to show them an image of her from the vision, which showed the watch on her wrist and the date. So the apocalypse arrives in 4 days. Magic sighs and Blade shakes his head. "Great. Could this get any worse?" "Even I know that when magic is involved, it can always get worse." And as if on cue, everyone turns as a portal opens up and Dr. Doom steps out. "Turn the girl over now, or face your doom!" Meanwhile, in Transia in the year 1428, the angry villagers rush forward with weapons and torches as Agatha Harkness watches them from the witch's fortress. "We are out of time," she says to the others gathered behind her, and the witches continue to argue, but most gathered believing that they need to finish their ritual to protect them from the witch purges. It's Corinna who believes that they are going too far. Suddenly, smoke begins to solidify behind her as Agatha yells to Corinna that the smoke is reaching for her. But now, in the present day, Agatha and Zoe appear within the coven. "What is this place, Professor Harkness?" Zoe asks as she looks around in awe. "Used to be a haven to protect women like us," Agatha says with a smile. And Zoe looks around at the dust and the bones around her before turning back to Harkness, asking why she saved her. "Because I've seen all of this before, and you will need my help to survive all the danger that is coming your way." At the academy, Doom has opened fire on the heroes. They are all leaping out of the way to avoid the attack. "Turn over Zoe Lavu, or die!" Doom bellows. "I already told you she ain't here, bub, but we're more than happy to keep you entertained." Wolverine shouts, leaping at Doom, slashing with his claws. But Doom blocks the blow, knocking him into the wall. "Bah! Your feral attack is beneath me, Wolverine." Doom snaps, and the Spirit Rider hits him with Hellfire, but Doom swirls it around himself, launching it back at her. Magic leaps in next, attacking with her Soul Blade, but Doom blocks, knocking her away. Blade runs up next, but Doom hits him with a magical blast, sending him into the air. "You should stick to fighting vampires." Doom laughs. Meanwhile, Nico has rushed inside, ordering the students to get clear of the fight as she searches for a weapon. "Oh, this'll do nicely," she says with a smile. Outside, the heroes have now regrouped, but Doom has called on his Doombots who are rushing into the battle. Over at the Haven, Harkness explains to Zoe that she comes from a long line of powerful witches, who once called on the powers of a demon named Voltor to aid them against the witch purges of the 1400s. But though the demon has aided the witches in the past, he has always sought a way into their realm. "That monster in your vision doesn't look like the Voltar that I remember, but I would recognize his presence anywhere," Agatha explains, looking at Zoe. "I made a horrible mistake that destroyed someone I cared for. If that vision is to be believed, it may ultimately cost everything. So will you help me fix that mistake?" Agatha asks Zoe, who smiles, telling her that she's in. Meanwhile, back at the academy, the heroes are being knocked around by the Doombots and their master, until Nico finally stands ready to join the fight. "Hey, Mr. Von Doom, got a second?" she says, hefting a magical battle axe in her hands. This little beauty is the Axe of Agarumus, donated for use in Magical Weapons 101 by the late Dr. Strange. I would like to impress the freshmen by showing them how it can cut through anything, including snapping a student's desk. Doom steps towards her. "Nico, you are almost as annoying as your parents were, but I see you do not have your family's staff, and without it, you are insignificant. Toss away the axe before you hurt yourself." He orders her, and she throws the blade, which Doom easily dodges, mocking her for missing. The axe sails through the air and is caught by Blade, who leaps down, slashing across Doom's armor with it, sending him to the ground. Enraged, Doom opens up a portal, quickly knocking the heroes to the ground. Finally standing over them, he demands one last time to know where Zoe is, but a blast of magic slams into him, sending him flying. He growls, getting to his feet. You do not have the fortitude to do what must be done, to eliminate the threat the vision foretells, Doom says as he looks up at the new Sorcerer Supreme, Clea Strange. Hello, Victor, she says with a smile as magic cracks around her, and she reminds Doom that he isn't the Sorcerer Supreme and to return to his castle. Doom curses her, disappearing into the portal. And with the battle over, Clea turns to the gathering of heroes, explaining to them that she doesn't need their help, and that she will be dealing with the issue all by herself. Magic steps forward, snapping at the Sorcerer Supreme, explaining that she can't stop them from helping, that all of the heroes appeared in the vision. You bring up a good point, Clea says, thinking about it for a moment as she holds up her hand, and in a bright flash of light, the heroes all disappear. Looking around, they are shocked to have been dropped into another dimension. It is the Spirit Rider who explains that Clea believes that she has removed the group, that if she has removed them, the vision won't come true and the world will be safe. I probably would have done the same thing, she explains. People? Where are we? Nico asks as she looks around at the dark dimension. We're not in Kansas anymore, Blade growls. And that concludes issues 1 and 2 of the 5-issue miniseries for Midnight Suns. We'll be doing issues 3, 4, and 5 as they come out and they conclude. Right now, you can go read issue 3 yourself if you want to. Now, my opinion on this story is, it has nothing to do with the Midnight Suns. Hopefully, there's some kind of formation of an official Midnight Suns group by the end of this. Otherwise, this is a straight game tie-in, which it's not a terrible story so far. My only complaint is that I get Doctor Strange is dead right now, so we need to get Clea Strange involved. But why the Spirit Rider? We just established that Johnny Blaze is back, but even if you don't want to use Johnny Blaze and you want to use the guy from the game, Robbie's currently on the Avengers. He is literally around the Marvel Universe. I don't even care or know who the Spirit Rider is, but that's a different argument for a different time. We didn't need the Spirit Rider. We have Robbie in the universe. Anyway, that's my opinion on the storyline. Overall, though, I do think it's fun to see a magical side of Marvel coming out, seeing Doctor Doom showing up to fight against them as he's more entwined into the magical universes, seeing the situation in which Clea Strange deems that she can handle the whole situation herself while Agatha's trying to work behind the scenes. I like all of those plot points. All of that is a lot of fun. And don't forget, this is tied into a video game that just came out called Midnight Suns, which you should be checking out. I've been giving you a whole bunch of streams here on the channel. As a matter of fact, one should be going live the day that this video goes out, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time right here at Comicstorian.